Much love and appreciation, family. So, for all of the brand new men's and women's shirts that you see and the limited edition sneakers that you see here, please visit the comment and or the description below the video. Thank you. All right, so the reason I just want to give you guys a heads up. So the reason I wanted to bring this up on a video is to, I guess, try to clarify and to try and make some sort of understanding of what exactly is going on when it deals with Ahmaud's friend, along with other people on social media, including Ahmaud's friend's response to those individuals. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to play the interview for you in full without, any type of cuts, so that you can get an understanding of what it is that he's saying or whatever your perception may be. And then I'm going to go over into the response that he gave on social media and also why he gave that response. So let's get to the video.
There's a black male running down the street. Where at Satilla Shores? I don't know what street we're on. Stop right there.
That's the voice of former district attorney investigator Greg McMichael, suspecting 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery was burglarizing houses under construction at 1:08 p.m. in this Brunswick neighborhood. According to the police report, McMichael called for his son Travis, who grabbed his shotgun because they didn't know if the male was armed or not.
I just need to know what he was doing wrong. Was he just on the premises and not supposed to be?
He's been caught on the camera a bunch before at night. Kind of an ongoing thing out here.
Police say McMichael then armed himself with his .357 handgun. He and his son followed Arbery, who was running for 2 blocks, before the report states McMichael shouted, "Stop, stop, we want to talk to you." They pulled up next to Arbery, and police say the former investigator's son exited the truck with a shotgun. McMichael told police Arbery then violently attacked his son, and the two men started fighting over the shotgun. Travis McMichael fired 2 shots, killing Arbery at the spot of this memorial. Police say the McMichaels rolled Arbery over to see if he had a weapon, and no weapon was found. Arbery's former football coach suspects it was a case of mistaken identity.
People are known for jogging that area all the time, and people know Ahmaud jogs the area. Like, he would stop. And sometimes he was in the middle of his workout, and he'll just play like basketball with the younger kids. He'll sit right out there in the street and just kind of shoot hoops with the kids. And then, at the end of the game, he'll just go back to jogging. That's the kind of person he was. Everybody knew him for exercise.
Arbery's best friend says the community deserves to know the truth.
It's not about one race, because we're all a community, and we all see this as a tragedy to the community. Mm-hmm. It's not about black. It's not about white. It's not about a race. We can't make this about race. It's about what's right and wrong and what happened.
Now, a former prosecutor who had Arbery's case told police the McMichaels acted within the scope of Georgia's citizen arrest statute, and they claim Travis McMichael, the son of the former investigator, acted in self-defense when he gunned down Arbery. Arbery's family now has hired civil rights attorney Lee Merritt, who hasn't returned my phone calls yet, and they've created a Facebook page called I Run with Ahmaud.
All right, now this is the response that Ahmaud's friend gave on social media when it came to the criticism of the response that he gave to the news outlet. And I also want to make people aware that Ahmaud's friend said this before everything took place as we've already seen it unfold, meaning both McMichael's senior and the son, along with the person who was trailing Ahmaud, were both captured and are now being prosecuted. So also please note this took place before all of these things happened, and the media decided to put out or play this clip at this point in time. So his response goes as stated. With all due respect to whoever this may concern, I truly appreciate you shedding light through the tragedy of Ahmaud's story, but I would like to clear some things up. The questions that was asked of me by Jack's news reporter when being interviewed last week, April 30th, 2020, before this video, quote, "How has this affected the Black community?" I answered as followed in the statement above. They were trying to make this about just the African Americans here when this has affected our entire community as a whole, not just the African Americans. They have now posted this interview with this video that was released yesterday, as if they interviewed me after this video was released. Here is the attachment to the original article. God bless and much respect to you and all. Thank you for sharing, Ahmaud, as I said before. All right, so this is specifically what Ahmaud's friend was responding to when it dealt with social media. He was responding to Tariq Nasheed along with other people who were trying to insinuate that the reason he was doing this either had to potentially do with money or different things like that. Now, the thing that I'm going to state here is that I understand exactly, how he feels. He's going through the loss of, a friend, of a loved one at this, this moment in time. So there's a lot of emotions that you have to, deal with there, on top of the onslaught of, more than likely a lot of people trying to reach out to him on social media, on top of news organizations probably trying to knock down his door to get interviewed so they can get a 5-second quote here and there, and so that they can, make money off of this. And I will say this, Tariq usually questions a lot of things because as Black people, we need to question certain things, because a lot of times whenever families happen to get the quote unquote justice, or what is told to us as justice, they happen to get, some money due to everything that took place. And and this is only my understanding, I'm not saying this is for every single case out there. Again, I'm only talking about from the things that I've looked into and that I understand. So from my understanding and from what I'm able to see, take note of every single mother and father who has lost a son or a daughter or a loved one by way of police. And notice how you don't see any of them after, let's say, that settlement comes and they get that money. Notice how you don't see any of them coming together out loud into the public, forming some type of union or a watchdog group that is continuously in the eye of the media, and that continuously shines a light, and that continuously shows up to each and every funeral or each and every moment or protest when these things take place. Notice that. Notice the absence of all of those families that we have seen over the last, 10 years. And that's just that short amount of time that this has been taking place. So because of that, and also due to the fact of how everything was going with the Botham John case, and how the judge reacted, where she hugged a killer, and where the brother came out and he hugged and said he forgave a killer, and then the father came out and said, like, one day he would like to be friends with Amber Geiger. All of these Black individuals literally forgave, put a spotlight out, put a call out to all of the white supremacists out there and told them, like, hey, no matter what you do to our people, we will always love you. We will always forgive you. This is the reason that Tariq is questioning this young brother. This is the reason that Tariq is questioning Lee Merritt and other people who are involved, because of the things that we have seen here. And that a lot of times these people always end up saying that we forgive the person who took our loved one away from us. All right, so now I put it like this. Now, This is me on my video, my opinion, and I'm giving this young man the benefit of the doubt because I'm going by what he has stated. And I was looking at his mannerisms on camera, how he was trying to gather himself and put, his words, together. So I'm going to give it, the benefit of the doubt at this moment in time up until I get more information, right? But for the rest of the people out there, who I've seen some black Republicans, conservatives, who have stated that, he was resisting or that this is justifiable or different things like that. Or, any other individual that happens to hate their race. I want people to completely understand that we have videos showing that there were 3 white men, one of which trailing Ahmaud, who also had a gun in his car. The reason that he was moving the camera around, if you go back and listen to that video again, you can hear him click the gun, getting it ready so that just in case he had to fire, right? This is why he was, moving around, fidgeting. That was one. Then the other 2 were directly in front of him. So they automatically knew the road in which he was running. And they cut him off to make sure that even if he did run, there were 3 guns and somebody was going to be able to shoot him. The initial report that Lee Merritt also stated was that the family received a call from police saying that their son was burglarizing a home. So they automatically deemed him to be a criminal. They automatically deemed him to be a burglar, right? All right, so I just want to make you aware of what the Georgia law states. And this is Title 17, Criminal Procedure, Chapter 4, Arrest of a Person, Article 4, Arrest by Private Persons, Section 17-460, Grounds for Arrest. A private person may arrest an offender if the offense is committed in his presence or within his immediate knowledge. If the offense is a felony and the offense is escaping or attempting to escape, a private person may arrest him upon reasonable and probable grounds of suspicion. Now, from what we were all able to see and hear, you can completely 100% understand how flimsy and how faulty that law is. This law enables any white man who presumes a young black male or a black man or a young black boy of doing a crime, of potentially stealing something, of, I see him running, he must be running from a crime. If they even assume anywhere in their mind that you as a black man are a criminal, because of this law, they have the right to go through and to arrest you or basically hunt you down and chase you with 3 men and guns and gun you down. That's what this law enables white men in Georgia to do legally. And a lot of people don't see an issue with this law at all. But the reason that they don't see an issue with the law is because it's not going to affect them. It's not going to be used in a court of law to automatically make sure that they either get less penalties or them being deemed as innocent and being law-abiding citizens. Because as they initially stated in the news, they were like, well, everything that they did falls within the law, which, the law that I just read off to you. And I'm like, are you serious? We just saw a lynching on film, on the news, broadcasted to the whole world. And you're saying that it was legal. People need to understand how white supremacy works. And they just showed you directly in front of your face. You heard exactly everything that they said. You've seen how every single person who was going to test the case recused themselves of the case because of either they were friends or they might be close to the McMichaels. But I'm going to go to a further extent, it's not due to the fact that they dropped it because of that. They dropped it because they're on code. They dropped it due to the fact that they believe in white supremacy, and they believe in trying to do anything possible to secure the power for their race for as long as possible. And they also did this to further send out a message to anybody else who has the same beliefs as them, as we're out here. This is what we're doing. We expect you to do the exact same things and be able and be ready to sacrifice any freedoms that you have right now in order to get this message across. And that's exactly what the McMichaels and their neighbor did in order to send that message out to all the rest of them. This is what white supremacy is. This is the one beautiful thing about having things on the news and being able to see these things on social media, so that you can actually analyze and break these things apart. Because for some odd reason, you still have a lot of Black people today who believe that we live in a post-racial society, that racism doesn't exist, that it's all in Black people's minds, that it's only a few white people, like a couple hundred or maybe 1,000 out of the hundreds of millions that are here, that actually believe in racism, discrimination, bigotry, and the systematic, white supremacy system as a whole. It's only a couple thousand. Those are the ones who want you to be fooled. Those are the ones who want you to stay asleep. This is why every single time we turn around on social media, there's a white woman calling police on somebody Black. There's a cop either shooting us down, gunning us down, chasing us down, beating us, unconscious, brutalizing us, murdering us. This is why we have all of these things taking place, because all of these things are different parts of white supremacy. It's different parts of the system. They're all a part of the exact same corruption. And what you have to understand is that you have a lot of enablers who are not just white, but a lot of which who are Black, who either want to stay dumb and stupid and ignorant of what's going on, or they're willfully being ignorant, which means that they acknowledge what's going on. They have full knowledge and context of the situation and the historical value of everything from the past, present, and future. But even with all of that, they're still going to say that these are just rare cases, that Black people are harming themselves more than any other race out here. We need to 100% focus on that before we focus on anything else. Right? But never will those people sit up there and say that, all right, since Black people are focused on this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the other things that I feel that Black people aren't focusing on. They'll always bring that deflection, right? They'll always show you the cause, but those same people who want to deflect will never, ever be a solution to any of the things that they are pointing out. So that's where we are. And this is why you see the picture directly in front of you, where it shows that somebody tried to start a GoFundMe. I tried to look for it. I couldn't find it, but somebody on Twitter had the image of the GoFundMe that was up. And this is why I'm showing you the other image of the Facebook group that was mentioned in the news article. Realistically, I didn't want to put this up there because I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm publicizing this and that's a bad thing. But realistically, regardless of however this ends up, people need to know that you have people out here. You got 42 or whatever thousand people, it's probably going to be more, that believe that the McMichaels are innocent and that young Ahmaud was a 100% criminal and that he did everything wrong, right? And that the McMichaels did everything right, and they're God-fearing people, they're a loving family, and what more could you ask for? And this is just the media and everybody else trying to step on civilian rights and laws and trying to condemn these two men for doing and trying to protect their country and trying to protect their community from this big black scary man. That's what they want you to believe. And this is what it looks like. So like I said, It's about 42,000 people in there. And chances are, quite a few of the people that pass by and watch this channel, they know some friends and family and cousins and coworkers that's in there. As stated before to a lot of white people, if you are silent about everything that you see here on this channel and you refuse to acknowledge it, you are complicit in the very same acts of the murder, the rape, the racism, the lynchings, and anything else that goes on in this society, in America, when it comes to black people. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.